no, you don't have to answer it right now. Just let it like kind of sit there. But it's like the answer, the question here is like, it's the Peter Thiel question, right? So he talked about it in Zero to One, right? And he
Okay.
uses it to interview people to come into his companies. He's behind like PayPal and other
Yeah.
companies, right? And his
Yeah.
question is, it's his unconventional truth. It's,
Okay.
what is one thing that you know to be true that few others would agree with you on? What's
Okay.
one thing that you know to be true that few others would agree with you on? And I would just like, the idea here is, want to leave you with that question as something to just be to play with, is to have in the back of your mind to see what that stirs up for you as you get more awareness on that. But I actually
Okay.
think what will probably the most powerful for you is to like, you talked about the process. You said like you're a process person. You do things get done, then you come back and you like are able to take that data and break it down into what needs to get done, right? What it
Yeah.
feels like for me is that like right now the way that is the anxiety, the way that you presented it, and the
Mhm.
anxiety from the standpoint of like, you are an amazing project manager. You can see all the various steps, and you can break down all the steps and the dependencies, the contingencies, the risks, and all that stuff that's involved in it. It's like what you're supposed to do as an amazing
Mhm.
project manager. And
Mhm.
sometimes like that keeps you from just being able to like go from like to just make the jump. It's almost like you can take the number one and divide it in half infinite times,
Mhm.
and like that parable, but like that paradox riddle of like, how can you ever take that first step if you always have to go half the distance, right?
Yeah.
When I hear you talk about these things here, you have there's a lot of half the distance going on, you
Okay.
know. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can think about I have to go half. Are you familiar with the half the distance riddle?
Yeah. It's yeah. In my case, it was from a mathematical perspective. If
Exactly.
you keep dividing it by half, do you actually go through the door? Do you actually hit zero or not?
Exactly, right. So the thing is, yeah, because you went through the door, right?
Yeah.
I would almost like look through. This is the invitation I would have for you. It's like when you find yourself when you find yourself in that place where you keep going down, like here goes all the various things that need to happen right now.
Mhm.
My inclination is you probably just don't have the data that you're looking for in order to be able to create what that process is, right?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
instead, just like my invitation, just say the words half the distance,
Mhm.
right? Knowing, meaning that like that represents, regardless of if you have to go all those half distances and you can also just walk through the door, you know,
Okay.
and let that let that be like a way of just, I think, just taking on a few more things for you to get more information of what it is. Cause it almost feels like right now the anxiety is keeping you where you are and you're not able to get the data that you need to be able to figure
Mhm.
out what it is that you actually do want, such that you're like,
Okay.
oh crap, this, like, I just need to get this done. Like, I can't not do it.
Mhm.
That's a great
Mhm.
thing. I'm in my mind, I'm like, wow, what's the thing that's going to make him anxious enough that he'll actually make a change? Right now, it's not
Mhm.
there,
Mhm.
or it doesn't seem to have presented itself just yet. And that's okay.
Agreed.
That's okay too. And so,
Mhm.
so why don't we leave it at that for now? I'm not like,
Okay.
it doesn't need to be wrapped up in a nice bow. It may or may not land. That's okay. I'm okay with leaving you with some things to kind of continue to think through or to continue to
Okay.
live into. Uh, I really acknowledge you for being a part of this journey here to like go through the end of the day, it's messiness. Leading by example choose is like, are you willing to lead through like through the messiness, or are you choosing to like lead through everything's like, I have everything perfectly aligned. I see how you're paid to have everything perfectly aligned. And I think the invitation is, are you willing to start looking into what might it be like to live through the messiness as well?
Mhm.
All right. So
All right.
we'll end off here. Thank you, Abo. It's an honor to serve you here today. Keep me in the loop as to how things develop, and I'm looking forward to continuing this journey with you.
Will do. Thank you, Niyama.
We're just getting started. Click on the link below to watch the full conversation and go to niyamaashawn.com/tribe to get additional resources and exclusive invitation to tribe only events. Journey on.